I started a new dress for Jasmine last night. I thought I'd try that, my version of that Southern Belle dress that you can find on ABC Knitting. I did mine a little different. This time I'm going to try and make I used the same welly wisher top, only this time I hope I made it wide enough to get around her belly and her bottom. I think I got it all done. But let me show you what I'm doing on this one. Instead of doing that, following that pattern for the Southern Belle dress, I sort of did the same thing. Instead of starting with it, I just added my white yarn to the top, and I sewed in that little flounce on the top. I don't know, this yarn is called Safari Zebra yarn. It's by Loops and Threads. I looked for it last night on the internet and I couldn't find it. I found a couple skeins on eBay, but it's not the zebra black and white. It's the ombre. It's gray and white, but it's the same type of yarn. So when I was putting these layers in for the skirt, I think I would have been better off if I would have started maybe starting the ruffle yarn maybe either 1 or 2 rows up. I think it would have been cuter, but I didn't. So it gives her sort of a long waisted look. But anyway, to get this ruffle on the top, I did it full length at first, and I didn't like it because it hanged all the way down to the top row of where the other ruffle lace yarn started. So what I did is I took the yarn and I found out where that first, how much I wanted. I decided I only wanted for the flounce on top. Speaking of the flounce, I did 2 single crochets per every loop in the yarn. I did it that way because when I did it one at a time, there was just too many ruffles. So I put 2 single crochets in each of the top loops all the way around the top, and that gave me, I think, a nice look on that. Down here I did 1 loop per stitch. So when I put the ruffle yarn in, I did a single crochet, and then I did 2 rows of double crochet between each layer. I might go 3. I might go 1 more layer on here to see what it looks like, or I might just do some red down here so it shows through down to about here. I think that might be cute. I haven't figured out how I'm going to turn these and sew them in yet, but I think I'll just do it by hand. I think I'll get a nicer finish. So anyway, to do that, to get that smaller, only two like 1 inch wide instead of the whole 4 inches or 3 inches, whatever it is. Each of these layers are only put together with 1 thread. So if you only want, let's just say we want 2. So first thing you're going to do is the best way to do it is to start at the top and find your loose thread. If you know how much yarn you're going to need, you can just cut it off and pull it like you're pulling a thread in a piece of fabric, and it'll just run. But if you're not sure how wide you want it or where your thread is, start with 1 and work your way down, and you'll be safer. So I think I want this one gone. So I'm going to pull this one out, and that will give me what I want. I want just that this will be my top loop. So we're just going to keep pulling that thread out all the way out until we get the size of the yarn width we want. Okay, so you can just keep pulling and pulling and pulling until you get where you want it to be. Cut it off, and what will happen is you'll end up with what you want for your width. So now when I go to sew this across the neckline, I'm only going to have 1 inch. So that's what I mean about I put 2 single crochets in each of these. If you want it really fluffy across the neckline, then do 1 per stitch, and it'll be very, very fluffy. It's whatever whatever you want. You know, you can even gradiate it. You could do your skirt down here, do just 1 loop, and then your next row could be 2 of these loops, your next row 3 loops, and you can just gradiate it down and get a really fluffy skirt. It works on all of them. I tried even doing it on the yarn that has triple hoops in it. It works the same way. You just find out how wide you want it, and then you find that 1 thread, and then you just pull it, and then you get it as wide as you want. It works on the puff yarn too. I tried it here, and it's the same thing. You just find where that first stitch is. If you're nervous about it, start at the top and work your way down so you don't mistakenly take the wrong stitch. But you know, once you do it once, you're going to know exactly how to pull it and how to find it. And basically that's all there is to it. So I'm going to sew my ends in. I'm going to finish doing some of these rows of double crochet, put in a couple snaps, sew up the edges, and see how the dress looks when it's done. At first I thought I was going to just put a fabric skirt underneath it and just have it really fluffy out like this. So I don't know, I still might, I don't know, we'll see. But that was my project for today. And very simple, just pull 1 thread and you can make your rows as wide or as thin as you want. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.